Stop scrolling. Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out your own home is now classed as illegal, not abandoned, not unsafe, not condemned. Just illegal because it doesn't meet something called Grade C. And no one knocked on your door to explain it. If that sounds dramatic, stay with me. Because across the UK, new energy efficiency rules are tightening. And the phrase EPC Grade C is about to become one of the most expansive letters you'll ever read. Welcome back to UK, Who's in Reality, the channel where we break down what's really happening in the UK housing market without the spin, without the panic, just the facts. You need to protect your home and your money. Right now, energy performance is the new battleground. For years, homes have been rated under the Energy Performance Certificate System, better known as EPC. Properties are graded from A to GA is the most efficient, G is the worst. Most older homes in the UK sit around D or E. Some are even lower. And here's where things start to get serious. The government has been pushing toward higher energy standards, especially for rental properties. The target being discussed and gradually implemented is that rental homes must reach EPC Grade C. That means better insulation, better heating systems, double glazing, and in some cases, major upgrades. If you're a landlord and your property is sitting at a D or E, you could be facing thousands of pounds in upgrades. And if you don't comply, you may not legally be allowed to rent it out. Think about that for a second. You buy a property, you pay stamp duty, you pay council tax when it's empty, you pay mortgage interest, and now you're told that unless you upgrade it to Grade C, you can't rent it. In effect, your income-producing asset becomes frozen. For tenants, this is being sold as a win. Warmer homes, lower energy bills, better living conditions. And in theory, that sounds great. Nobody wants to live in a freezing, damp house. But here's the question no one is asking loudly enough. Who pays? Because insulation doesn't magically appear. New boilers aren't free. Heat pumps, external wall insulation, solar panels. These are expensive. In many cases, landlords will pass those costs on through higher rents. And in some situations, smaller landlords may simply sell up instead of upgrading. Now imagine thousands of small landlords deciding it's not worth it. Properties leave the rental market. Supply drops. Demand stays high. What happens next? Rents rise. This isn't a conspiracy. It's basic economics. And here's the part that really worries homeowners. While most of the current focus is on rental properties, the direction of travel is clear. Energy efficiency is becoming central to housing policy. Mortgage lenders are already factoring EPC ratings into their long-term risk assessments. Some green mortgage deals offer better rates for higher-rated homes. That means if your house is rated D or E, it might not just be about renting. It could affect resale value. It could affect refinancing. It could affect how attractive your property is to buyers. Now let's calm the fear for a moment. No one is coming tomorrow to lock your front door because you're not Grade C, but regulation tends to move one step at a time. First rentals, then new builds, then potentially tighter rules on sales or major renovations. If you own an older home, especially a Victorian terrace or a post-war semi, getting to Grade C might not be simple. Solid wall insulation alone can cost several £1,000s. Replacing an old gas boiler with a modern system or even a heat pump? More thousands. And here's another reality. Some homes physically struggle to reach Grade C without disproportionate cost-listed buildings, rural stone cottages, flats with limited upgrade options. The policy doesn't always fit the property, so what should you actually do? First, check your EPC. It's public information. You can look it up online using your postcode. Don't guess. Know your rating. Second, understand what's dragging your score down. It might be loft insulation, it might be single glazing, it might be an old boiler. Some improvements are relatively affordable and can significantly improve your rating. Third, don't rush into panic spending because of headlines. Deadlines for rental compliance have already been adjusted before, and policy timelines can shift, depending on economic conditions, but ignoring it completely would also be a mistake. If you're a landlord, start planning financially, even if enforcement tightens over the next few years. Spreading upgrade costs gradually is easier than facing a massive bill at once. If you're a homeowner planning to sell in the next 5 to 10 years, think about how buyers will view energy efficiency. In a world of high energy prices, a warmer, cheap return house is a selling point. Now let's address the phrase, your house is now illegal. Is that technically true? For most homeowners, no. But for landlords renting out substandard properties, once stricter enforcement hits, it can effectively mean you cannot legally let the property without compliance. And that's where the fear headlines come from. The reality is more nuanced. It's not that your home is illegal to live in. It's that the rules around renting and possibly transacting property are tightening around energy standards. There's also a bigger conversation happening here about climate targets. The UK has committed to reducing carbon emissions significantly. Over the coming decades, housing is a major contributor. Old, poorly insulated homes waste energy. From a national policy perspective, improving housing stock efficiency is part of that strategy. But policy meets reality when the appeal lands on your doormat. So here's my honest take. Energy efficiency isn't going away. The direction is clear, but the pace, the enforcement, and the financial support available will shape how painful this becomes for ordinary homeowners and landlords. Keep an eye on grants and local schemes. They come and go, but sometimes there is support for insulation, boiler upgrades, or other improvements. If you qualify, that can dramatically reduce the cost burden. Most importantly, don't let social media panic merchants convince you that bulldozers are coming for your semi-detached tomorrow. But also, don't assume nothing will change. This is the new reality of UK housing. Compliance, efficiency, regulation. The game is shifting from simply owning property to owning compliant property. And that's why we talk about it here on UK Housing Reality. Because headlines shout, politicians, posture. But you need clarity, so here's what I want you to do. Comment below with your current EPC rating if you know it. Are you A to C and relaxed? Sitting at D and watching closely? Or stuck at E or below and worried about upgrade costs? If this video helped you understand what's really going on behind the Grade C scare stories, hit like, share it with someone who owns rental property, and subscribe to UK Housing Reality because the housing market is changing fast. And staying informed might be the difference between being prepared and being blindsided. Your house isn't illegal. Not today. But the standards are rising. And the smart move is to rise with them before the rules force your hand. I'll see you in the next one.